Do you love Pleasantview from The Sims 2 as much as I do? If so, I'm very excited to share my newest project. I have created The Sims 2 Pleasantview in The Sims 4. And yes, I know it's been done before, but this is my version, the PleasantSims version. In this video, I'll give you a tour and show you the completed save file, which is available for download on my website at PleasantSims.com. I've tried to keep this save as close as possible to the original Pleasantview within the limitations of the game, of course. And that includes all the original Townies, NPCs, relationships between Sims, and as many of the lots as I could squeeze in. I have a very special connection to Pleasantview in The Sims 2, and I really wanted to recreate the drama in The Sims 4. To the best of my ability, it is still The Sims 4. I decided to revisit the game, and I knew that the default worlds and Sims in The Sims 4 were just not gonna cut it for me. I need that drama, y'all. The love triangles, the mysteries, the romance and intrigue. Pleasantview had it all. So I wanted to bring that same magic to The Sims 4 and see if I could make the game enjoyable. In upcoming videos, I'll also be sharing with you all of the mods that I'm going to use to make The Sims 4 work a little bit more like The Sims 2 and make it more fun to play for people who enjoy playing in a similar way to me. But this world is for everyone, even if you've never played The Sims 2 and you're just looking for a new fun and interesting save file to play. I think you would really enjoy this. There are lots of surprises to find if you're not familiar with the original Sims 2 story. The save begins with lots of opportunity for drama and fun with these Sims. So come on in and let me show you around. So here is Pleasantview in The Sims 4. Of course, I'm using the Willow Creek map because you're not able to create your own maps in The Sims 4, unfortunately. I have renamed the worlds. So this is Pleasantview. This is Strangetown, though it has nothing in it yet. I did rename it to Strangetown. Newcrest is now Bluewater Village. Of course, there's nothing in it yet. And Magnolia Promenade, I just left Magnolia Promenade. These are all empty lots. And then San Myshuno is renamed Sim City. So you will need 2 expansion packs in order to play this, and I had to have these for the careers. So you will need City Living and Get to Work in order for our Sims from Pleasantview to have all the correct careers. Now, I do plan to eventually create Strangetown and Bluewater Village, but for now, this is the beginning of this save. This is just Pleasantview only. So here's just a small tour of the neighborhood map. Over here, we have the condo district where Don Lothario lives next to the Caliente sisters. And then here is a little empty condo from The Sims 2, 190 Main Street. On the other side of Main Street, we have the Burb family and the Dreamer family. All of these lots are copied exactly as close as I could get them from the Pleasantview lots. Then over here we have Sim Lane. So of course we have the Pleasant household and the iconic Pleasant home. We have the Goth household next door. And then across the street we have 170 Sim Lane, which is an empty home, and 190 Sim Lane, which is also empty. As you can see, I gave all of the lots their own lot traits depending on the neighborhood, except for the lots down here in the trailer park area. They don't have any lot traits. But of course, these are easy to change in your own game if you don't like what I've done. So down here in the trailer park area, we have the Broke family. Across the street from that, we have the Oldie family. And then we have these 2 empty trailers here. I decided to leave 3 empty lots so that you could build your own lots, add whatever you want to. Like on the Daisy Hovel lot here, I plan to build the Pleasant Vista apartment building. So I just left a couple extra lots so you could add whatever you wanted to into your Pleasantview. And then of course I left an empty lot in the business district over here. So in the center we have Woodland Park, which I tried my best to copy from The Sims 2. And then over here on Right Way, we have the big mansion, the big giant mansion. You know the one I'm talking about on Right Way in Pleasantview. So that is there. That one was super fun to build, by the way. And then of course we have the community pool, 250 Main Street. We have Pleasantview Grocers, and we have Sandy's Closet, which is the clothing store from Pleasantview. Here we are inside. Now you will need a little bit of custom content, not very much. It's all listed in the blog post what you will need. But I did use custom content windows on many of the lots, and also just a few other things, including this hot tub. So this is Dawn's home, and I will quickly show you the bedroom, the living room and kitchen, and dining area and bathroom. I even put in his piles of trash because Don is a slob. Here is Don himself, and he's quite happy right now because he did get engaged to Cassandra Goth, and he's really looking forward to that goth money, you know what I mean? Don is employed in the medical career, and you can see his relationships are all here with Dina, Nina, and Cassandra, and Darren, and Kaylin Langerak as well, who is also employed as a maid in this save. All of the NPCs have been given their appropriate roles. I'm not going to go through every one of the characters because I want to leave some for you to explore yourself if you want to play this save. I'm just trying to give you the gist that I went in and created all of the relationships between the Sims that they had when you first start Pleasantview in The Sims 2. Next door we have the Caliente sisters. They live in their iconic condo with the hot tub on the roof. Here's the second floor and the first floor, and as you can see, I tried to get it as close as I possibly could. I am using custom content windows here. And then here are the girls themselves, or at least my interpretation of them. So at the end of the little condo district here is an empty 2-bedroom condo for any of your Sims to move into. Now, of course, I could not add all of the lots from The Sims 2 Pleasantview because there just isn't enough room on this map in The Sims 4, but I added as many as I could and the ones that I thought would be most useful. So our condo district here in the new Pleasantview only consists of 3 condos. And here is the second floor, and here is the first floor. And across the street, still on Main Street here, we have the Burb family. So I moved the Burb family into this house, which you will probably recognize from The Sims 2. It's one of the empty starter houses from The Sims 2, and this is the house that I always move the Burb family into. Because they are a bin family in The Sims 2, I went ahead and moved them in and furnished their home with basic furnishings so that you could just start playing them right away. So here's the top floor of the home, and here is the bottom floor. Inside, we have John Burb and little Lucy. Looks like they're watching TV here. So here's John. He's got a frown on his face for some reason. Here's little Lucy. Oh, and another thing I want to mention is everyone's ages have been adjusted. For example, when you first play Lucy in The Sims 2, she's 5 days away from being a teenager. So in The Sims 4, she is also 5 days away from being a teenager. I went through and adjusted everyone's ages. I also adjusted every detail that I possibly could, including the students' grades that they have at the beginning of the game, all their relationships, their skills. Outside is Jennifer Burb standing outside here, and she's ready to get a job and start her career because you know she's a career woman. And look, coming down the street, it's Brandy Broke. We're gonna go see her house a little bit later. And here's a random townie walking by. This is Orlando Sentowski. You probably recognize that name if you're familiar with the Sims 2 Townies. So I created all of the Sims 2 Townies, and they will all be wandering around here in your world. Walking by, you'll see Sandy, Broody, Goopy Gills, Carbo, everybody. And then next up is the Dreamer house, right next door to the Burbs. So of course, things are not in the exact order that they would be in Pleasantview in The Sims 2 just because of the layout of this map. So I did the best I could, and I tried to keep all the houses on the same street together in the same group on the same street here as well. So here is Darren standing outside his home, and I believe Dirk is inside. Oh yeah, looks like he's about to watch TV. So here's Dirk Dreamer. Out back under the willow tree is the grave of Darlene Dreamer, and this is actually her grave. She is in there. She will probably come out as a ghost to haunt you. Now, I did not create all of the ancestors. I'm sorry, I just didn't really mind that much if they didn't exist. They should be easy to create yourself if you really want them in the game and you can kill them off, or I may create them in a future release of this save file, but right now there are no ancestors besides the dead Sims Darlene Dreamer, Bella Goth, and Skip Broke. So here is the top floor of the Dreamer house, and here is the bottom floor. Now, if you have Get Together, you could put the dartboard right here next to the bathroom door where it belongs. I didn't require that because I didn't want to require another expansion pack just for a dartboard, but if you do have it, I would recommend putting the family's dartboard here by the bathroom. Next up at 55 Woodland Drive, we have Brandy Broke's trailer here, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Of course, we've got the pool in the back, and also in the back is the grave of Skip Broke. Now, this does not exist in the original Sims 2 Pleasantview, but I left it here for you to do with whatever you please. And here is the inside of Brandy's trailer. Dustin is here inside watching TV, so here is Dustin Broke. The lighting is kind of poor inside this trailer, sorry. And then of course, here is Brandy, looking gorgeous. and little toddler Bo. And if you're familiar with the story of Brandy Broke in The Sims 2, then yes, she does have a little surprise for you after you start playing her. So here's another little view of the kind of the trailer park area. Across the street from Brandy live the Oldie family, and they live at 95 Woodland Drive. This is another of the starter houses from The Sims 2 Pleasantview. This is usually the one that I put the Oldie family into, so I did the same here. So the Oldie family traditionally only consists of Herb here and his wife Coral. They are the adopted parents of Mary Sue Pleasant. But in my world, they have also adopted another child. They have adopted the little townie child, Brittany Parker. She is one of the townies that comes with Pleasantview, and I always have the Oldies adopt her when I play in The Sims 2, so I thought I would have them do the same in The Sims 4. If you do not like the storyline for the Oldies, you can always just make her a townie again, or delete her, or whatever you want. But in my world, they have another adopted child. Because I just feel like it gives them something to do with their elder years. So as with the Burbs, the Oldies are also a bin family, so I moved them into this house and I furnished it with basic furnishings, so once again you could just start playing them right away. Here's one of the 2 empty trailers in the trailer park area over here, and these are the same trailers from The Sims 2, the empty trailers. So here's the inside of this one, and these are super cheap for your Sims to move into. I think they're only about 10,000 simoleons to purchase. Yeah, this one's 10,209 and this one is 9,724, and they're both 2-bedroom, 1-bath, really great little starter homes. So here is the second trailer, and here is the inside of it. Now moving over to the slightly nicer area of town, this is the Pleasant household. So I did use custom content for the outer walls of the Pleasant household, and I've listed that in the download post as well. Here's Mortimer Goss standing outside the Pleasant house along with Arcadia Bradshaw, who is a handyman. She is a repair woman, I should say, a repair woman in this world, just like she was in The Sims 2. So the Pleasant house, of course, out in the back, we have the pool. I believe there's Mary Sue going for a dip. And there's no swing set in the base game, so I put monkey bars instead, but I tried to keep everything else the same back here. Here's Mary Sue going for a swim this morning. Here's Daniel over here. I don't know what he's up to. God knows what he's up to. And yes, he has his relationship with Kaylin, and all of that is in here. And then, of course, we have the girls. Here is Lilith and Angela. So another thing about when I created these Sims is I did create all of my Sims to be genetically correct. So as you can see, Angela and Lilith have slightly Asian looking eyes, just like their mother, Mary Sue. So they actually look more like their parents. So here is the top floor of the Pleasant house. Angela and Lilith's bedrooms and their shared bathroom. And then here is the bottom floor of the house. Of course, Mary Sue and Daniel's bedroom and the kitchen, living room, dining room, all of that. And another thing I want to mention is all of their money is set to exactly how much they had in The Sims 2. So they only have 2,250 simoleons to pay for this giant house. So I really hope Mary and Daniel are getting to work. Mary Sue is employed as a campaign intern, and Daniel as an all-star. So he makes quite a bit of money at 130 simoleons an hour in the athletic career. And yes, Angela and Lilith are enemies in this save as well. And then next door, we have the Goth family home. I'm sure you're very familiar with that if you ever played The Sims 2. Cassandra is super happy because she just got engaged to Dawn. And we have the backyard all set up for their wedding if you should choose to get them married. Now, of course, here is the family cemetery, but there are no graves in it because I did not create the ancestors. So maybe someday I will create them. I just didn't. I don't know what to say. I didn't. But here's a little cemetery or a little garden for you to use for whatever purpose you want. Here's the attic floor of the Goth Mansion, or Goth Manor as it's called. And here is the second floor with the bedrooms, and then finally the bottom floor of the house with the piano. Over here in the living room, we have Cassandra and Alexander. Man, it's dark in here, but you can kind of see them. Here's Cassandra and little Alexander, and Mortimer, of course, was outside across the way. And then on the other side of Sim Lane, we have 2 empty houses. So here is one of them. This is 190 Sim Lane. This is one of my favorite of the houses from Pleasantview. I usually move Alexander and Lucy into this house when they get married, if they get married, which they usually do in my world. Here is the top floor of the house. It has 2 bedrooms and 2 baths on the top floor. And then here is the bottom floor. It has a big, open, spacious floor plan with a little half bath and a fireplace back here, as well as a patio outside. So this is a step up from most starter houses. It costs a little bit more at $29,750. And then finally, we have 170 Sim Lane. So this is another of the empty houses. This one costs $21,746. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Pretty affordable for a 4-bedroom. Here is the entire house. It's only 1 floor. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. Of course, you could make some of those an office. You could probably combine these two. There's all kinds of things you can do with this house. But I just created it exactly as it was in The Sims 2. And then our final residential lot is 210 Right Way. And this is probably my favorite house that I built in the save. So here is the outside. I really love this house. I haven't played much in this house in The Sims 2 because it is kind of an expensive house. Obviously, it's the second largest, most expensive house in Pleasantview. So it's worth $78,498. It has 6 bedrooms at least and 3 baths. It also has several porches and verandas. And then out here, we also have this lovely, the word escapes me. What the hell is this thing called? Gazebo. That's it. It's a gazebo. So there's this lovely gazebo out back. And here's the back of the house. A nice balcony up here. And another like kind of wraparound porch on the back. So here is the top floor. It's got 3 large rooms and 2 bathrooms. The second floor also has 3 rooms and a larger like great room and a bathroom. And then the bottom floor is the kitchen, living area, dining area, entryway, and all that. Oh, let's put the walls up. Let's put the walls up so you can see it better. Okay, let me take you back through. So here's the second floor and here's the top floor. Now for the community lots, this is Woodland Park. So it has our little chess area here when you first get inside. It has bathrooms, lots of lovely landscaping around. It has this little bridge, picnic area back here with grill. And then it's got this lovely walking track all the way around with lots of seating, a nice nature area for your Sims to explore. And then I did add, of course, this pirate ship that does not exist in The Sims 2. So I added that in just for your children to have something to do. And I added in a few more picnic tables and just some random things here and there. Random landscaping and things. And there's another gazebo. And of course, there's no swing. So I did add monkey bars. And your Sims can definitely fish in this pond, so lots of fun stuff for your Sims to come and do here. Here is 250 Main Street, which is the Pleasantview public pool. So around the back, here is the pool. Of course, we have all the seating and everything, the grill out here. No swings, so once again, I put monkey bars for the kids to play on. And then inside, we have bathrooms, men's and women's bathrooms, and then these 3 carpeted green rooms, which it always kills me that there's carpet in here. Everybody's gonna be all wet and sticky in here, setting their wet booties on these fabric couches, but okay. And also this room should have a dartboard in it, so if you have get together, I would throw a dartboard in here. Now, Pleasantview Grocers, this is the grocery store and game store from The Sims 2, but I made it just one big grocery store since we don't really have the same game store capability, so I just made it all one grocery store. Of course, it has the bathrooms in the middle, and this side I kind of made like a bakery and dried good area, and then over on this side I have like the fridge coolers and things like that. Now, the grocery store is pretty sparse. There's not a lot of good grocery gameplay in the Sims 4, even if you have Get to Work. So I would highly recommend downloading Seriously Sims Complete Cooking Overhaul. It has lots of custom content where you can make your own grocery stores and your Sims can come in and actually buy the groceries. You can put the groceries out on the shelves. So I've left all the shelves empty for your use. You can put any of the groceries or whatever you want to set for sale here. If you don't download that mod, then the grocery store is going to be pretty disappointing for you, so I would highly recommend that you get it. And then your Sims can purchase way more things, and just going to the grocery store is a much more fun experience. Anyway, that is as close an approximation to the Pleasantview grocery store that I could get in The Sims 4 and still make it reasonably functional. And finally, we have Sandy's Closet, which is the clothing store from the original Pleasantview, and of course, course, I did spruce it up a little bit. I added this sign, which didn't exist in the original. I added a little sign here. And I added some tables outside. And then around the back, I also added a little seating area and a grill if your Sims get hungry while they're out there shopping for clothes. Here's the top floor with the men's and women's bathroom. And then downstairs, of course, we have just the clothing store. Now, in the original clothing store, there are actually clothing racks that your Sims would go through, but in the Sims 4, that does not exist. You have to have these mannequins. So I just put the mannequins up, and you can come in and like dress these mannequins and make them however you want them in your game, but that's how you have to buy clothing in the Sims 4, so that's why we have mannequins instead of racks. Otherwise, I tried to make it as close to the original store as I could. Okay, so there's the little like downtown shopping area, grocery store, clothing store, and community pool. And I left this one open so you could add whatever you want. I would recommend that you add a bar. I am probably going to be creating like Doc Allen's Hangout or one of the bars from The Sims 2. Pleasantview obviously does not have a bar in the beginning, but I would recommend putting one here because I have created the bartenders from The Sims 2 and they are not assigned to any bars right now. In my own game, I plan to assign them to the bar that I'm going to create for this space right here. So in the manage household screens, here are all of our playable families. Kaylin Langrak is not playable, but I still have her in my households so she doesn't get cold if you play with culling on. I would not recommend playing with culling on. I would recommend downloading MC Command Center if you don't have it, and that way none of the Townies and other Sims get deleted. Because I did create all of the Pleasantview Townies, as you can see here. Here's Tasha Go, Jan Tellerman, Ivy Coper, Brandon Lillard, Melissa Fancy, Sandy Broody, they're all here. And then I also created all of the NPCs, or as many of them as I could, because some of the NPCs from The Sims 2 don't exist in The Sims 4, things like delivery drivers and newspaper delivery, so I didn't create those. I only created the ones that could translate over. So here, of course, are the nannies. These are the pizza delivery people, the gardeners, the bartenders, the repair people, the maids, there's Lucy Hanby. So they have all been assigned their jobs. So when you're playing in Pleasantview and you call for a repair person, so Arcadia will show up or one of the other repair people. When you call for a maid, Remington Harris or Lucy Hanby or Kaylin Langrak will show up. So they've all been assigned their roles. The only NPCs that don't have jobs assigned are the bartenders, and they are Cassidy Peterson, Juan McCulloch, and Gary Hyatt. These three Sims right here, right now they're just Townies in your world, but if you put a bar down, I would recommend using a mod to set them as bartenders. I use NPCs Control by Paulson, which some people say is not working for them, but at the time that I'm making this video, it is working for me. At least it allows me to set my Sims to their proper roles. So there you have it, guys, a tour of my Sims 2 Pleasantview in The Sims 4. And if you like this world and would like to download it and play it for yourself, you can find a link down in the description box or just go to my website at PleasantSims.com. The download post will have all the information you need as far as compatibility, custom content, and all the information about the world as well. And you can always leave me a comment if you have any questions or concerns. I am really looking forward to playing this world. I have been working on it for so long and I'm super excited to play it. So if you would like to see this world in action, you can follow me on Twitch because I am going to be streaming as I play this world rotationally. Just like I played my original Sims 2 Pleasantview, I'm going to play it in The Sims 4, but we're going to do it on live stream on Twitch every Sunday. So come join me there if you want to see that. And please let me know if you download this world, how you enjoy it, and what happens in your game. I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. In future videos coming up over the next week or two, I'm going to be sharing more about my gameplay in this world, including how I'm going to be playing it rotationally, the mods I'm going to be using, and things like that. So make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I guess that's all I have to share today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Cindy, and I'll see you with a new video very soon. Bye!